Hey there, my dear. I am Leadership Development Coach Kathy Archer. As we slide on into December, I want you to start thinking about not necessarily goal setting, but laying the foundation for goal setting. In January, most of us are going to set some goals or some New Year's resolutions, and we're going to start thinking, yay, 2017 is going to be a whole different year. And yet, we've still got a few weeks left in December. And I want to make best use of those few weeks that we have so that when we get to January and we start setting goals, we've laid a really good foundation that helps you not only identify the goals that are going to make the most impact for you, but also how to achieve those goals. There are a couple of things that I want you to start doing in December. The first one is that I want you to start looking back over the past year, over the lessons you've learned. What is it that you've done or not done that has taught you something, and perhaps taught you something that you can take forward into the new year? Perhaps you've realized that if you want solitude time or time to yourself or time alone, then you have to create it. Maybe you've realized that complaining and begging for it and wishing for it and complaining again that you never got it doesn't work. But when you create that time, when you set time aside in your day timer, when you schedule it, when you book it, when you set boundaries around it, when you make it happen is when it happens. And so the lesson is, if I want more solitude time or alone time, I need to make it happen. That's a great lesson to learn. And it's one that you might want to make note of. Another lesson you might have learned in this past year is, if I don't respect my boundaries, then nobody does. So again, maybe you've wished for boundaries and begged for boundaries and complained that nobody ever respects your boundaries. But when the phone rings, what do? Hello. And when somebody says, hey, can I just ask a quick question? You say, I'm in the middle of something, but what is it that you need? And you're the one not respecting your boundaries. So the lesson there is, I need to get clear on the boundaries and I need to respect them first, and then everybody else will respect them. Another lesson you might have learned over the past year is, when I eat crappy, I feel crappy. And so if I want to feel better, more energized, feel more comfortable in my clothes, feel less bloated and gross feeling, then I need to eat better. Again, great lesson. Another one you might want to write down and make note of. Another lesson that you might have learned: when my desk is cluttered, I feel cluttered. When my office space feels scattered, I feel scattered. When there's piles and overwhelming things to do in my life, I don't even know where to start. So what maybe did you learn from that? When I take a few minutes to sort things out, or when I clean stuff up, or when I have systems in place, I feel more organized. What did you learn? That I need to develop a few systems, perhaps. That I need to schedule time to declutter my desk or to file things so that I can be more productive. Again, make note of that lesson. It's important to write these things down throughout the month as you come across them, as you ponder them, as you think about them, because they're going to help you when you get to defining your goals next year. For now, just take these notes. Just when something pops into your head, jot it down. When you're having a conversation with somebody and you remember something like, oh yeah, I remember I learned that lesson the hard way, make a note of it. When you get closer to the end of the year and it's time to start developing some goals for next year, you can then pull out these lessons learned, and they're going to help guide you as to what it is you want to do in the coming year. So for now, just kind of let this simmer in the background. When you come up with something that you realize, that's a good lesson that I learned, I need to apply that differently in the new year, here's something that's going to help me, just make note of it. And you'll start to be more conscious about how you're setting goals for the coming year. Take some time to ponder, to think about, to reflect back on the past year and the lessons learned. Make some notes about them, and then you'll be able to use those as you move forward into the new year, setting your goals so that you can have a different experience of life. If you are looking to increase your confidence, you may be interested in my new book, Mastering Confidence: Discover Your Leadership Potential by Awakening Your Inner Guidance System. You can find it on Amazon or click on my website and I'll share the link with you.